floors, but everybody in this building is rich as all get out, so they can make the phone calls that need to be made. On top of that, the state police were here because they're protective of any of his stuff. But they are now trying to get the narrative of this the wrong address, so he's not here. We know he's in Springfield, possibly, but messages from the media and social media go anywhere. We could have did this outside of Dalton and called on the governor. Don't y'all look at me like that. Say, well, why we here then? But no, we could have did this anywhere. The point is that we need the governor to act. Everybody on the same page? Yeah. Now today I've had a conversation. I appreciate the people from Harvey because yes, this is not just a Dalton issue. This is a Southland issue. But because Dalton is organized and y'all ready for real, we are definitely going to make sure we call out the name of Christopher Clarke here as well, because maybe the governor needs to pay attention to that hearing and do something about people who don't live in their district. That's right. Absolutely.
Oh, nice. So,
Hey, 9 West Walton, no access. We need the governor of the state of Illinois to act. We need the governor of the state of Illinois to remove Tiffany Hinyard and Christopher Clarke from their seats because they continue to enrich themselves on the back of the taxpayers. It is people out here from all over the place who are experiencing this pleasure of living in the Southland. We don't want to be ignored. We don't want to be overlooked. We don't want to suffer because the Democrats refuse to hold themselves accountable. And today, we make our collective voices heard. You're going to hear from residents from the Southlands, what they're going through and experiencing. And we want the governor, the attorney general, and the state's attorney to realize that people are out here freezing cold because they have failed to act for years, but they can end this within a matter of minutes. They cannot ignore it. They must say something. They must tell us, are we on our own? Stop playing on the national stage, but abdicating their duty in the statewide stage. So with that being said, this is what our call and demand is. J.B. Frisco, respond to the people who are suffering under the leadership of the Southland leaders who are not doing right by their constituents who have given them the best job they can have as the CEO of their respective places. And so I let anybody who want to come and talk, when the top first police get here, make sure I got the microphone when they do. It's your time.
open this for me. Open this for me. So, Jedidiah had a march and went to Governor Pritzker's, I call him Pearhead, one of his residences to protest, something he has the right to do. My issue is people having a problem with protesting. Okay? There's a difference in protesting versus going past a state senator's home just to see if he occupies the residence, trying to see if his chimney is lit, or to find out what his electric and water bill usage looks like. That's called stalking. So at the end of the day, we all know that the governor of Illinois needs to be voted out. I don't know why you people keep voting for him up there. I don't live in Illinois, by the way. I hate to see buffoonery and dumb crap go on and people are being hurt. We have the same issues going on here in my state in Georgia. If it's not the DA doing something dumb, we have mayors acting like buffoons in over here in the county I'm in. I don't even know if I want to say it yet because then that means people know what county I live in. But it's not Fulton. No, I'm not. You know why I say it? I'm in College Park. Yeah. That mayor over here is on a whole nother level. I'm not talking about the city of Atlanta mayor. I'm talking about the mayor over here in College Park that's spending $60-some thousand to go to Africa. Yeah, okay. Yeah. No, we're having the same issues. You have corrupt politicians all over the place going into an elected position, losing their damn mind, and not being held accountable, and then get upset when people do hold them accountable, and say this is where the fault squarely belongs. But the governor has a lot more power than he wants to put off. Even if he cannot single-handedly get rid of Super Stupid or Christopher Clarke himself, he can send out a letter and a message to the state legislators to pass a House bill to help make it easier to get rid of these mayors. As a matter of fact, there is a House bill that is being created that I believe has at least been put out on the floor. Don't know if it's passed yet, to make it easier to get rid of the Chicago mayor. That state legislators are creating a House bill to get rid of the Chicago mayor in a whole piece of legislation. That's how the governor can help get rid of Super Stupid in Dalton and Christopher Clarke in Harvey. What he can do is to advocate for that House bill to be expanded to include the other two mayors. So if you got one for the Chicago mayor, okay, we're in the same state of Illinois. This is a House bill being passed by state legislation, which means we can expand this out. Why limit this down to just the Chicago mayor? Include Super Stupid Tiffany Henyard and Christopher Clarke in that House bill. Illinois state legislators and Governor Pritzker, include the other two mayors in that bill. There's a way to help try to get rid of them, and to say at least you advocated however you could within the confines of the law, if you want to be legally correct. Help get that state legislation out. And add Super Stupid to that House bill along with Christopher Clarke. So now you got 3 mayors in the state of Illinois that you can now get rid of if you want to just vote their asses out with a regular election or a recall or however you want to do it. Or here's what we're amending or revising that's already in place so that it's not such a hassle. Or perhaps, like the state of New York, they pass legislation where the governor themselves can recall a mayor, because they damn sure have that in the state of New York. Yep. In the state of New York, they have state law that allows the governor to recall a mayor in that state, because that is how it should work. I don't understand why it's so difficult for the state of Illinois to do the same thing, or any other state for that matter. Many states have state legislation where the governor can recall a mayor and get their asses out of that position. The governor themselves have the power to do it. Why is it that the damn state of Illinois can't do that? Is the governor scared to do it? Are you scared, Governor Pritzker? You pear-shaped man. Are you scared to try to get rid of 3 mayors stealing from tax-paying voters in your state? Are you scared to do it yourself? Sounds like you're scared. If you're scared, you should not be in that position as a governor. If you can't grow a spine and recall 3 damn mayors and let the people vote 3 competent people in those positions, you should not be the governor. I hope you're watching this video where Lady Luck is calling you a coward. It's not that difficult to try to get the state legislators to add on 2 additional mayors to that House bill. I think it's House Bill, was it 1384 or 1304? Yeah, I'm looking it up. I am, because I want to be accurate. House bill that's being passed in Illinois. I want to say 1384 or 1304. We'll find out. Because this makes no sense. And I know that they're trying to, and it's to specifically recall, Mayor, what's that mayor in Chicago? Now y'all need to add on the other 2 mayors to that bill. I'm still looking it up, people. House bill to remove Mayor, was it Brandon Johnson? Is it Johnson or Jones? You know, when you do dumb things, I mean, this is not what you should be infamous for. You should be infamous for stealing money and making stupid decisions. Proposed law would let Chicagoans recall Mayor Johnson in special election. It's House Bill 1084. House Bill 1084 would provide relief to the 70% of voters disapproving of Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson by creating a process to recall the mayor. Now, why the hell y'all can't add Tiffany Henyard and Christopher Clarke to that House bill? Would it be too much to ask to add those 2 mayors to the House Bill 1084 to get rid of them too as well with the in election? As a matter of fact, why don't you put the cherry on top and not only give provision and relief for voters to recall the mayors, but for the governor to recall them as well? Now the governor can recall these mayors on his own accord with a House bill. Why is it so difficult to pass that bill? Why would it be hard? Because other states in the United States of America have done that. Other states have state statutes or state laws or bills in place where the governor themselves can recall a mayor, especially if they've proven to be incompetent, unfit, and derelict of their duties. Why would that be hard? Yeah, okay, so there's a House Bill 1084. You all might want to call these state legislators and say, can y'all please add Tiffany Henyard and Christopher Clarke to this damn bill because they got to go as well. It's not just Chicago. You got Harvey and Dalton that is sitting here being played by 2 more idiots doing much more dumb things. To the effect where, I mean, super stupid is a global phenomenon for it. And she still got goons trying to defend her. Laughable. 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 So that House bill, y'all might want to go to state legislators and have them revise it and add them to it. And then petition your state legislators to create a bill for the governor to recall mayors. Because it should be that simple. It should be where, okay, the governor is able, through a series of steps, with enough evidence, sufficient enough to prove there's a consistent pattern of behavior, especially if one of those mayors is under FBI investigation. No one would care if you recall a mayor when they are under FBI investigation, when they're being held in direct criminal contempt of court, when they're violating court orders. That's a perfect specimen to recall as a mayor. When they're under FBI investigation and under direct criminal contempt of court, and then just violated another order signed by a different judge. Yes, Governor Pritzker, super stupid Tiffany Henyard would be the prime example person for you to recall under a new bill, having the authority and right to do it. Because how could you not want to recall someone that is violating court orders and under FBI investigation? Dear God. So House Bill 1084. That's the bill. Listen, get your state legislators working for you because their asses are elected as well. So make them work for you. Like, nah, y'all need to expand it. Don't just limit that to Brandon Johnson. Y'all need to add 2 more mayors to that. As a matter of fact, everybody call in and add in the mayors that you know should be added to that list, especially if they're under FBI investigation and charged with direct criminal contempt of court. Yeah. Make sure they are definitely added. So, I had to get all that out because I wanted to be accurate with the House bill that I cited here. You guys can look up that information. I'm looking at IllinoisPolicy.org, and it gives some statistics of the percentage of voters that are disapproving of the Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, based on November 2024 poll by Change Research. So numbers don't lie. It just don't. I mean, Super Stupid thinks that they can be fudged, but they don't lie either. I mean, it is what it is. Most of Dalton want you gone, little girl. And when you're under FBI investigation and now under in being held in direct criminal contempt of court, and now violating another court order by appointing a police chief without the board's approval, you need to go. And the governor could single-handedly have your ass snatched out of that position. And there needs to be legislation passed to support it. That's where your state legislators need to be working for you all. Because all this stuff that she's done, you have people all over the world asking, why is this woman still a mayor? How is she still able to be a mayor? Well, it starts with the top down. And yes, she bears a lot of most of the responsibility of her actions. All of it. I'm putting it all on her. I've already issued out a warning for these goons that keep going on YouTube trying to damn deflect and do whataboutisms. You're going to get your names called out, and I'm going to destroy your soul. It won't even be fair. And I will have plenty of facts to back it up. I'm citing facts right now. There's a whole House bill in place that Super Stupid can be added to. While you have goons out here trying to defend her BS. But they won't address her being in direct criminal contempt of court, though. They won't even speak to that. No, because cowardly. Because they're cowards. Punks. Yeah, keep on. So, this march and this protest, which is something that Jedidiah and the citizens there have the right to do, is what they're asking the governor to make some things happen. And some of the changes that can be implemented can come through, him signing legislation, state laws into effect to not only give him the power to recall mayors, but to allow mayors to be recalled through elections, special elections, without it being such a complicated process. And then, of course, you can have state legislation passed to prevent someone like Super Stupid from ever becoming a supervisor and a mayor at the same time. There is no reason why one person should be holding two different types of positions on that caliber. None. So that's another thing Governor Pritzker needs to get on. Get your pear-shaped ass up and get on some legislation about making sure that state laws pass to where you cannot hold a mayoral and a supervisor position at the same time. There are others there that are more competent, smart, literate, and educated that can do simple math, that can hold that role and do it well because they're qualified to do it. They're fit for the job. Let's not act as if all hope is lost and no one else can run for these positions. You don't have one person serving two different roles like that. So let's prevent that from happening ever again by passing state law, putting some legislation on the floor to ensure that if you're running for mayor, that is the only position you're going to run for. You're running for supervisor, that's all you're running for. You're not doing both. Pick one and then go get the hell on somewhere and sit down. That's it. That's simple methods that can be done with state legislation being passed. And how else do you get his attention? Sometimes you got to just meet people where they are. They've had protests. They've had marches in Dalton. Town hall meetings have become a place to air grievances and to allow your elected officials know how you feel. You have the right to do that. The problem is that their cries are not being heard in Dalton. So now you got to meet Governor Pritzker where he is. Go to those wealthy neighborhoods where they're not trying to have any of that going on, or they might just be sitting in their condos or high rise or wherever that is, sipping tea and just enjoying it all. You never know. But at the very least, one thing they will do is, Governor, you got there's a whole protest out here, and we trying to go to bed. You need to bring your ass home. Come to this home here at this address, since he has multiple addresses. Bring your behind here to this address here, and come address these people. Stop dodging them, because all you're gonna do is making it worse and pissing them off. We want to go to bed. Good night, Governor. And then that's it. They're gonna start calling him. They're going to start reaching out to him and saying, there are protests here 1, 2, 3 nights in a row. We're not getting any sleep. And those wealthier people, they're going to say, we're not voting for you again, bro. You don't know how to come home and address people. Now they're here protesting. They got the right to protest. But they trying to get your attention, and you trying to ignore them and dodge them by not coming home. Now you've made us mad. And we're the wealthy donors behind you. So now we're going to start pulling dollars from your campaign until you bring your ass home and address these people and help them out. That's the point of this. Just in case you all weren't understanding, why are they there? To get his attention. Because now you got to meet him where he is, because he's not making his way to Dalton. You don't see that pear-shaped boy running up in the Dalton town hall meeting trying to help out. No, you do not. I wish to God he would do that. But you don't see Governor Pritzker coming up into Thornton Township in that board meeting, trying to hear what people are saying and hear the voices of the people that voted, that have real concerns. He's not showing up in a Dalton town hall meeting to try to sit down and listen to people and put Super Stupid in her place. Because she ain't going to be able to go over there, and if he show up, she's not going to be able to override that governor. He's going to come there with Illinois State police officers, probably some sheriffs, and some real bodyguards and everything in between. Let her sit up there and act like stuck on stupid if she want to. Oh, they have a way of shutting you down, girl. Little things like that he could do. He's not doing that. And his whole response to this buffoonery that Super Stupid has kept on for 4 years too long so far, it was, oh, I support the investigation of the FBI and Lori Lightfoot, knowing Lori Lightfoot does not have subpoena power. But I don't want to get involved, and then, one is overstepping the other. None of those things are not like the other. One of these things is not like the other. One of these things doesn't belong. That this Lori Lightfoot investigation has nothing to do with the FBI investigation. Those are two different scopes. And Lori Lightfoot does not have subpoena power like the FBI does. One is a federal investigation. One was a civil investigation. That really, to me, it was just, I already knew what the outcome was going to be. I was just irritated that it could not produce more. But I knew she didn't have subpoena power, so it wasn't a whole lot I could get out of that. But for the information that she did gather, she put the world on notice with it. What I did not know was Super Stupid was dumb enough to actually email people by saying, do not share financial reports and budgets and stuff, and I want you to fudge numbers. Like, that is something I learned new. You were dumb enough to put that in writing, because it's not like she's never said this. She was stupid enough to put it in writing. Yeah, she put that in emails that could be tracked. Yeah, in writing. So that's something new. There you go. I got something out of it. That's what I got out of it. The rest of that, it was just like, okay, well, I could have said all of this. I mean, it's no way to see what exactly was purchased from Amazon, because we don't have an Amazon receipt. They're just going based on the warrant list. But no one's logging to Amazon and pulling the receipt from Amazon. And the trustees don't have an Amazon account. So how is that the trustees' fault again? Good God. Either way, they didn't approve any purchase from Amazon. They themselves did not buy whatever the hell was bought from Amazon. And they don't have an Amazon account. So, Super Stupid or her finance administration would be the ones that would have an account. They would have to go and log in to Amazon and pull the receipt and post it up. Can someone grow a spine and please do that? Because Super Stupid is not going to do it. Whoever bought it, can you just post up the damn receipt from Amazon? Just grow a spine. As a matter of fact, you might sleep peacefully if you just finally expose the truth. Or give it to somebody else and they'll post it up. You email it to me, I'll put it up. My God. I won't even say where it came from. I say, here it is, and I got it. The end. This is what this protest is about. The accountability. Putting that burden on the governor now. Passing state legislation to give more power back to the people through their vote, to recall mayors when they're effing up, when they're incompetent, when they're under FBI investigation, and when they're violating court orders and being held in direct criminal contempt of court. Dear Cook County Courthouse and any judge that has to get a complaint, well, Tiffany Henyard is the defendant. If she violates your court order, please sign a capious warrant and have her ass collected and remand her to Cook County Detention Center. Lock her up. Can you stop playing around with this, please? You got laws in place. She needs to be in jail for violating court orders left and right. And the longer she's not locked up, the more court orders she's going to continue to violate. So on the subject of Christopher Clarke, just, here's why his behind needs to be named in this House bill to be recalled.
Mayor Clarke, so I'm clear here, and everyone else is clear. You are seeking the office of Township Supervisor in the April 1, 2025 election, correct?
That is correct.
And your opponent is Napoleon Harris, correct?
I have several opponents, but he is one of them.
And
he's also a
you
mayor
are here
of
testifying, as you said, I want to help out.
And a mayor.
Right? You're here to help, right?
That was in reference to being the supervisor of the township.
But you're here to help out and offer testimony in an effort to have Mr. Harris knocked off the ballot, correct?
Sir.
Is that correct, sir?
No.
You're here to provide testimony on behalf of an objection that you prepared or were involved in preparing, correct?
No.
Well, with regard to the lawyers that are representing you, is it not true that Carrie Lynn Chiropractor represents the city of Harvey?
The lawyers aren't representing me.
Does Carrie Lynn Chiropractor represent the city of Harvey? Does Carrie Lynn represent you?
No.
Does she represent the city of Harvey?
Yes.
And who is paying the lawyers on behalf of the objectors?
Ooh.
I'm not.
Do you know who is paying them?
No.
With regard to Jerlene Harris, you went to go tell her information, correct?
I don't recall.
Well, you just testified that you went to go tell her about what you knew, correct?
Not from my recollection. No.
Characterizes his testimony.
Yes.
With regard to your testimony, what did you tell Jerlene Harris?
I told her about Senator Harris not living in in Thornton Township, about living in Flossmoor, not living in Harvey.
And with regard to Ms. Harris, did you ask her, hey, I need you to be an objector?
Yes.
And did you do the same thing to Michael Smith?
No.
And with regard to Jerlene Harris, do you know what she did to investigate any allegation in the objection?
No.
Now, sir, the last time you were selling real estate was in 2006, correct?
Yes.
And with regard...
Okay, so what y'all just heard was him testifying to telling someone that Napoleon Harris does not live in Harvey and lived in Floxmore. I'm not even going to rewind it because it's irrelevant. The fact is that he told someone Napoleon Harris did not live in the acceptable residence to be eligible to run for supervisor of Thornton Township. That was the purpose of him telling that person that. And this is someone that he was running against for supervisor of Thornton Township. This is a whole ass mayor who should be doing any and everything else right now to address his citizens in Harvey. But he's sitting here in an administrative hearing, which is becoming more and more of a mockery of our rule of law, because the lady in the leopard top literally gives off vibes that she has nothing else to do in her life but sit here and entertain buffoonery. And yet, a whole mayor, and an also, he's an attorney as well. He's an officer of the court, wasting his life by trying to figure out if Napoleon Harris lives in the district or zone that falls under Thornton Township because reasons. Oh my God. This is the buffoonery that your mayor is putting up with and doing now. This is who you all voted for over in Harvey to sit here and to do this. To waste time in administrative hearings for a whole nother position. This has nothing to do with him being a mayor. This is him trying to be an objector for a supervisor position in Thornton Township. When you suck ass as a mayor in Harvey, what the hell makes you think people are going to vote for you to become supervisor in Thornton Township? You can't even focus on your duties as a mayor. Can you say derelict of duties? Oh my God. And this man is a whole ass attorney. Now you all see why this is, and this isn't just the only reason why people are ready for him to get the hell on. That's not including all his alleged mismanagement of funds and the nonsense and stuff he's putting up in Harvey. Plus him wanting to participate in this. No one put a gun to his head and made him do this. He chose to do this bullshit. Oh, okay. Yep.
Sir, the last time you were selling real estate was in 2006, correct?
Yes.
And with regard to your investigation as to Senator Harris, did you look at his voter registration?
No.
No.
Do you know where he's registered to vote?
Yes.
And where's he registered to vote?
In Harvey, Illinois.
Wow.
And did you look at any information as to his driver's license?
No.
Did you look at...
Why? The driver's license is legally acceptable documentation to prove residence when you are registering to vote. How can you object to someone's residence and show no proof that they do not live there in Harvey when his driver's license, a lease agreement or mortgage deed, a utility bill, registration information, all would show a residence in Harvey? Why would you not look at his driver's license? When you get your driver's license, what you cannot do is put down two different addresses on the same driver's license. Every state does that. No state permits you to have two different addresses listed on your driver's license. Nor can one driver have two driver's licenses with two different addresses on it that are both in effect at the same time. So I could have two driver's licenses, but one of them naturally either is expired or invalidated for one reason or another. I can only have one valid driver's license at a time and one valid driver's license with one address listed per state law. And you have to prove residence to get your driver's license. So if you go out of state, let's say I move to Arkansas, my driver's license is still in Georgia. In order for me to get the ability to register to vote in Arkansas, I have to get ID. I have to have a bill. I have to have a utility. I have to have a lease agreement. And my driver's license with my photo on it needs to prove my residence in Arkansas. So for them to not look at the man's driver's license is baffling to me when that is the one key piece of legally acceptable documentation, identification used to verify residence, especially when it comes to registering to vote or anything regarding an election. Why would he not look at his driver's license? This is a man who also is an attorney, by the way, in case I haven't told you all that. Did I tell you all he's an attorney as well? He's an attorney. You would think he would know the law. Okay.
Any records related to his contact?
Who, child? The
with
incompetency
Harvey,
of it all.
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Wow.
Well, does Senator Harris have contact with the city of Harvey?
I'm still not sure what you mean by that.
Does
What?
he own a business in the city of Harvey?
Yes, from my understanding,
Okay, and what's that business?
a Beggar's Pizza
And where's that Beggar's Pizza at?
in Harvey.
And in relation to the property,
A whole
the Gibbons
business.
property, how far is the Beggar's Pizza to the townhome on Gibbons?
My God.
Less than a half a block from the rear of the building.
Now, sir, you testified that based on your information, you do not believe that Senator Harris lives at 14633 Gibbons Court, correct?
Yes.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as Kansas Exhibit number 12. And you had a mailer sent to Napoleon Harris at 14633 Gibbons Court, Harvey, Illinois, correct?
No.
Well, this is a mailing from the city of Harvey, correct?
Yes.
And Napoleon Harris's name is on it, correct?
Yes.
Now,
So what did you say no to?
sir, you've not...
So he said no, he didn't send anything while he's looking at an exhibit that a mailer was sent. This piece of mail, basically, a mailer, was sent to Napoleon Harris's address in Harvey, Illinois, that he just sat there and said he did not send. How much more dumb is this going to get? This gets dumber and dumber by the second. Like, it is appalling how stupid this is. Appalling.
Your knowledge is based on looking at some social media pages, correct?
Some of it, yes.
And with regard to any other investigation, did you do any other investigation related to Senator Harris's residency during the period of December 5, 2023 to December 5, 2024?
Repeat that, those dates again.
What?
December
Is he confused?
December 5, 2023 to December 5, 2024.
Yes.
And what was your investigation?
I looked at his reporting on the Illinois State Board of Election. Actually, quite a few times on that.
Wow. Stalker much?
Went by the house again, meaning the Flossmoor house. And like I said, I've been by the, Harvey house on several occasions.
Wow. Stalker much?
And with regard to the 50 to 75 times you've been by, can you keep note of the dates and times you went by?
Not all of them, no.
Okay. And with regard to going by 1463 in the Harvey, and I would just call it the Harvey residence. When you went by the Harvey residence, did you ever knock on the door?
Actually, one time I did.
Okay.
Why?
Was he home?
No.
And other than that one time, when was that?
When was what?
You knocked on his door.
I don't recall the exact date.
Did you take photographs?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
You took photographs of what?
I took photographs actually of the two vehicles that were in front that were covered with tarps.
So So there are two vehicles in front of the property of 1463.
That were covered with tarps, yes.
Oh, with regard to
Ooh, child. I think y'all get the gist of this. So he's a stalker. 50 to 75 times. You're taking pictures. You have dates that you recall taking photos of cars with tarps on it, going past this man's house. Also that you can still not look at his driver's license or pretend like a mailer with his name and address on it, with Napoleon Harris's name and the Harvey residence address on that mailer, somehow does not exist until now. Can we still address the fact that he did not look at his driver's license, though? So he doesn't do an investigation. He just wants to stalk the hell out of this man for reasons. For reasons. Nah, I didn't do an investigation on that. That's funny to me. I took pictures, though. I took lots and lots of pictures. Yeah, I just want y'all to know I can count how many times. I don't have all the dates, but I got some of them. What grown man does this in general? What grown-ass man takes time out of his life to go take pictures of another grown man's house? This is somebody you all want as a mayor? Are y'all proud of this, Harvey? Are you proud of this? Are you proud of having Christopher Clarke as a mayor? A man who sits here and proudly and boldly proclaims that he has taken pictures of another man's car and home, knocked on the door once. Can't remember the one time he did that, but he can give you dates on all the other times, not all of them, but most of them, where he drove past the man's house and took photos of his house as if that proves some level of residence, but didn't look at his damn driver's license. The defense rest. Oh, Lord, you can't make this up. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up. It is just disgusting in a way, in so many ways. Why a whole ass attorney that decided to go into politics and still be bad at it wants to go and take pictures of another grown man's house 50 to 75 times. 50 to 75 times. 75. I am floored at just the level of buffoonery in that, but didn't once look at his driver's license. Wanted to pretend like he didn't know this mailer was this. No, I've never sent this mailer. Okay, but this came from your office with his name and address on it. Yes, it did. Okay. What the hell? Woo, Christopher Clarke, you got to go. You need to step down. That's what you need to do. And then be investigated for possible stalking tendencies, because that's not normal. Normal people don't do that. Normal people don't do stuff like that. Oh, my God. All right. So this happened. We're on All in the Queue. Woo, big up C girl for posting this letter up from Christopher Clarke. I guess he realized, oh shit, I am a stalker. And then he just decided, you know what? This is not a good look. He decided to withdraw his objection. Yep. He decided to withdraw his objection. So, All in the Queue posted the letter up on her page. And, oh man, it is something else. He got his attorney letterhead on it and everything. It's funny. But he just did this on yesterday, February the 4th. And he basically says, after careful consideration and deep reflection, I made the difficult decision to withdraw my candidacy for Thornton Township Supervisor. So not only did he withdraw his objection, he's also withdrawing his candidacy for Thornton Township Supervisor. To sum it all up, because I'm not going to read it. I want you all to go and read it for yourselves. But to sum it all up, I'm sure he got several phone calls from other prominent leaders that probably have way more moral and ethics than he does. and probably a few fellow attorneys and said to him, bro, you look stupid as hell and you sound like a stalker. What are you doing? You're an officer of the court. You know how bad this makes you look to sit here and say that you drove past this man's house 50 to 75 times? Do you know how pathetic that sounds? And you're a whole ass attorney. You're an officer of the court and you're testifying to some nonsense like that. That's not a good look at all on any level. On you as an attorney or on you as a mayor. What the hell is wrong with you? Focus on your community. How about that? Stop playing these dumbass games with Michael Smith, who knows nothing, who's another goon and moron, and Keith Smith fat fuck. They're going to get you effed up, bro. I'm sure that's how that conversation went. And he got off the phone. It wasn't a deep reflection. It took many calls from different people that he probably respects, but definitely have the power to say something that could really hurt him, to understand how stupid he looked. We saw that long 5-hour hearing, and dude, you look like a dumbass. You admitted to taking pictures of this man's car with a tarp on it. You realize he's a state senator, right? Do you realize this man is a state senator? You're just the mayor. He's a state senator. And you're out here taking pictures of his house, driving past 50 to 75 times, taking pictures of his cars, trying to figure out if his chimney is on and stuff like that. All these things, the dumbasses up there testifying to, like, that shit's cute. No, it's not. They were proud of it. Then you got the election board just sitting here smiling and shaking their head at it, like all of this is somehow acceptable. No judge in a court of law would have even allowed that hearing to go past 30 minutes. Oh, you guys have not met your burden? You still have no evidence to prove he does not live in Harvey? Oh, okay. Well, then I'm going to dismiss this. First of all, the objection was filed improperly anyway. It was not a legal objection. It was not based on any finding of fact or law. And then you want to go to a court of law with that nonsense? Oh, that judge would have dismissed that a long time ago. That's what's so frustrating about this dumbass election board entertaining this buffoonery. And yes, I said dumbass. They not even caring about the case law that's being cited from Napoleon Harris's attorney to support why the motion to dismiss it should be heard and considered. They really need to consider dismissing it. No, what they want to do after all that BS, they still want to go to court to force a subpoena. And the judge is going to be like, why are you all trying to force some random neighbor to come in and testify to something that you all can't even meet your own burden on? So you mean to tell me the dumbass objectors that couldn't file a document properly still have yet to meet their burden with 2 additional attorneys added? And the board, the election board, actually wants a judge, wants me as a judge to sign something to force a subpoena for a neighbor to come in who has nothing to do with this, who's not obligated to come in, to an administrative hearing to say someone does or does not live somewhere, when the 2 objectors and those attorneys can't even meet their burden by them damn selves. Laughable. Laughable. The judge is going to say, get the hell out of my courtroom and go find a new election board. Jason House, if you win, when you win, I'm not going to say if, when you win, if you do not revamp that election board, you better. You're going to get a whole lot of kickback because all of this buffoonery at the expense of tax dollars. This is a vile waste of tax dollars. Revamp the damn election board. All of them need to be voted out. All of them need to go. Put competent, smart people in there that will follow the law. Whole election law is being ignored in this. Case law being ignored in this hearing. Napoleon Harris's attorney came with case law, and the election board is just sitting there like they don't understand it because they probably don't. And then they're just like, oh, well, we'll make that decision. I wish you make a decision based on the law because that's what you're supposed to be doing. But no, you want to entertain two buffoons that's about to have you all go to court and get a judge to sign something to force a subpoena just so that judge can cuss y'all out royally, which I hope to God the judge does. The judge needs to not only cuss them out, but every last one of them election board members need to be sanctioned. You should be sanctioned. You want to force a subpoena on a random neighbor when you're not even telling the objectors to meet their burden. You all want me to sign something to force a random ass neighbor to come in to testify to what now? To whether or not Napoleon Harris has lived somewhere? Why? Why do you need this neighbor to do this? Why can't you just show evidence to prove he does not live there? And how does that neighbor saying he doesn't live there, how is that all the evidence you think you're going to need to meet that burden? This is so stupid. It's so dumb, Lord. It's so dumb. Okay. So you all take time to read this letter that Christopher Clarke wrote, which is another reason why the protesters were out at the governor's home saying, yeah, you need to get rid of Christopher Clarke as well because we're sick of his dumb ass. Clearly. Man, you are making the Illinois State Bar look really, really bad, Christopher Clarke. And all your fellow attorneys up there. You're making them all look like crap. Because you still exist. And you're doing this nonsense. As opposed to you sitting there saying, that's not what the law states, and I'm not going to testify to that. I'm not going to even agree to half of this stuff because this is ridiculous. You're falling into the rabbit hole. Since you have no platform or policies in place or the brain to create anything, you feel that this is the way to win. This is proof that these people running for these positions, him is super stupid. They don't have a platform. This is why I keep begging for one from Jason House. Because if you don't have a platform or a policy, then you go to these damn dumb, dirty antics to try to win over voters. To stir up the pot. I have nothing else, so let me throw a stone at, his residence. He doesn't live there. Because we expect Michael Smith to be stuck on stupid. He's always been dumb. But no one expects a licensed attorney who's already a sitting mayor to entertain that foolishness. No one should expect that. And when the mayor wants to get out of pocket, please understand you were voted into that position. You can be voted out. And if he can't tell you all how he's going to help build up your community, then you do not vote for him. That goes across the board. Now, I'm sure Jason House has some great ideas. I particularly would love to see how he's going to get the village of Dalton out of this deficit. I would love to see that plan. Just show me some numbers and how you plan on, post that up on your website. Post up some realistic numbers and some ideas you have to help get Dalton out of this deficit. That's what I would rather see first. If I have to see anything from Jason House, I want to see that first. Once again, it's not an attack. It's vital information people could use to say, this is what makes him qualified versus someone like Super Stupid or Christopher Clarke incompetent. It's called a plan. Something that people have sat down, calculated, went over the numbers and said this could be viable. Introduce that to people. I want Jason House to win. That's why I'm adamant about him putting up something to show how he's going to help bring down this damn deficit. To put his platform out there on the websites. Put out your ideas out there. Even if they're not fully complete, that's fine. Do something, anything. We'll take something. I want you to look good. I want you to look competent and smart and intelligent. I want you to give some hope. And then get the voters' input on it. You know what? Let's help rebuild this together. You all know people out there who are able to offer grants you're part of programs, your jobs, your companies that can help rebuild, send it our way. We'll vet it through. We'll talk to these people. We'll meet with them. That way, all of you have an input in building up your community again. You see that? That's a difference in that versus this bullshit stunt they trying to pull by taking pictures of people's houses and cars. Big difference. So, the protest is necessary because you have the right to protest. I mean, the United States was established as a nation based on the act of protest. it just was. I mean, slaves built it, but protest too. We had to have a rebellion in slavery to end it. I mean, come on. So the spirit of protest should not be diminished because you don't like who's leading the protest. No one cares about that. If it's for a good cause to help people, look what that protest did. It brought attention now to a whole nother mayor that needs to be brought into the spotlight, that needs to be removed, that needs to be voted out or recalled. However, along with super stupid, you decided to interject yourself into this nonsense by trying to run for supervisor and play these silly ass games with Michael Smith and Keith Smith. Fat fuck. Okay, then here you go. This is what happens when you roll around in Big Mac Whopper sauce. You end up walking away smelling like fried food. I mean, it is what it is. You got yourself into this mess. No one forced you in it. You decided to indulge them. And now look. So, you guys make sure you take time to read, look up information. I encourage, asking questions to these candidates that are running and having conversations with them. I'm not saying that Jason House does not have a platform. I'm saying that I want to see what the numbers are as far as getting the Dalton, village of Dalton out of a deficit. Those are things that's going to go a long way. So when super stupid is long gone, you still have this policy in place or this platform where you ran on to say, hey, I said I was going to help us get out of this deficit by doing X, Y, and Z. Here's some numbers that I took a look at. Here's some measures that I, would hope, can incorporate, the citizens and those who voted for me and supported me. If you got companies that are willing to donate grants and to help revitalize the community. We want to welcome new business. We want people to move back in. We want to build up these houses and property and increase the value so that you can get the best bang for your buck. So many ways to go about doing that. Yeah, I have a way of words, but I know Jason House can sit down and come up with something and post it up on his website. That's what I'm asking for it to be made known on his website. That's not a bad thing. That'll be a good thing. Then it'll set the tone on how other mayors need to step up. You want to run for mayor? Look what Jason House did. Now try to follow that. There you go. You're welcome. All right. You guys hit like, share, and subscribe. All those good things. All in the queue. Thank you for posting this up. The video itself, let me see. Hold on. This is the Harvey World Herald. So I'm trying to give credit to those videos and YouTubers whose information was highlighted in my video. Jedidiah, aka Bishop. I call him Bishop. Ask me why. Because it's catchy and I like it. But Jedidiah Brown, an Investigate and Advocate, INA family. I am subscribed to his channel. Everybody knows that. I love Jedidiah. And I try to be open-minded. But when it starts to sound stupid, I have to challenge it. All right? You run around here trying to give Tiffany some credit or super some benefit of the doubt. You need to start putting down some real evidence as to why you're doing that. Because at this point, when she's still willfully violating court orders and you don't even want to touch on that, okay, I'm not here to care about her feelings. No one gives a shit about her feelings because she does not pay my bills. There you go. She doesn't pay my rent and mortgage. She don't have to take care of my kids. So I don't care about how she feels. But you should be questioning why you're doing that, why you're setting aside some level of integrity to try to sit here and just give her benefit of the doubt because you feel bad about something. How is that helping overall, though? How does that keep her from following a court order again? It doesn't. It doesn't. So, to all those YouTubers out there that are reporting and just putting out the information, you can give your opinion and thought on your platform. Don't care what you're looking at. But make it make sense. Don't spread misinformation and sit here and say, Super Stupid should not have all the responsibility. No, she should. She's the mayor. That's what she signed up for. Just like you're held accountable for the duties that you fulfill in your job. Whatever you were hired to do, if you were hired to be a manager, part of that managerial duty is bearing the responsibility of your employees and the decisions that are made. You know that stupid nonsense would not apply in real life. Don't sit here and say that it's just not Super Stupid's fault. Yes, it is. It comes down to her bearing the responsibility as the mayor. She chose to be in that executive position. You don't just get the power without the responsibility. And when things go wrong, she's not going to dodge from it. I am not going to allow it. I will not. And how is that any different than what she's doing if I sit here and try to make excuses for her? First of all, I don't owe her that. Secondly, it is her fault. As to many things that's going on, it's solely her fault. When the fault needs to be shared with the board or with anyone else, you better have some facts to kind of support that and back it up. Because otherwise, nobody's trying to hear that at this point. The last thing people need to be trying to do is help her dodge accountability. Because the court is not going to do that when they remand her ass to jail. Oh, no. The FBI is not going to do that once they're ready to drop that superseding indictment. Nope. And I hope all those ass kissers that are still out there trying to take up for her, why don't you volunteer to go to jail with her? I mean, I'm just saying. Go all the way there if you're going to go there. Even worse, prison. Enjoy. Y'all can all go to prison with her. Let's not sit here and pretend like we don't understand the definition of the term accountability or the concept of such. She is accountable. She's accountable for FOIA requests not being fulfilled because it's her job to ensure that someone is in that role fulfilling FOIA requests. She doesn't get to detach herself from it because she's the boss. Damn it. She's the boss. The end. It's that simple. She makes the decisions. She's the one that has to have the oversight. It's her fault. She is accountable. She failed to take action on getting on that employee that's not fulfilling the FOIA request. So if she's not holding that employee accountable, then we're going to hold her ass accountable. Bottom line, you would think she would try to say, oh no, I held this employee accountable for not fulfilling FOIA requests. I got on them. I wrote them up. I put them on a suspension without pay. I've done this 3 times. She hasn't said anything to that effect. And yet you all want to give her a pass and say, well, she's not the FOIA person, but she's the person in charge of the FOIA individual. And she has not once said how she's tried to reprimand the FOIA person who failed to follow federal laws and fulfill FOIA requests. So because that has not been done, she is accountable for that because she's the damn mayor. And her job was to ensure that everyone else is doing their job. And she failed to do it. The end, point blank. It's not a matter of an opinion. It's a matter of a fact. When has she written that FOIA person up again? Where's the evidence to prove she wrote that person up? What about the lady that was supposed to hand over budget reports and the financials? Has that person ever been written up? Has she ever reprimanded that individual? Is there evidence to show that? No, you say? None? Okay then, shut the fuck up. All right, that's where I'm going to end that. You guys, hit the like button, share, sub, everything in between. Have a good day. Later, look out. Peace.